Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're calling in from. My name is Ali Mona, and I am super excited to share with you today about the business side of doTERRA. And for this call, I've partnered with my dear friend, Silvia Regus, who I know that you're going to love. Hi, Silvia. Welcome, welcome. And maybe you don't know me or Silvia personally, but that is totally okay because someone on our incredible team invited you onto this call to have a look at the business side of doTERRA. So someone loves you very, very much if they invited you here. Specifically today, we're going to take the business and break it down in a way that's easy to understand. So we call this presentation the Business Made Easy. Now, if you're listening to this, chances are you're very curious about the idea of residual income or financial independence, right? Maybe you're ready for a change, or perhaps something has happened where your current work isn't available anymore. This world is a little crazy at the moment, right? With work situations. Or maybe you've been frustrated in that particular situation. Maybe you just need a little extra income on the side, right? Or to diversify your income streams. Maybe you just want your oils paid for. Yeah, like maybe you're an avid oil user and you're like, hey, I can get these things for free. Let's learn a little bit more. Whatever reason has brought you here today, I'm really, really glad you're here. I'm excited to share with you all these details, and I know Silvia is too. And personally, I love teaching about the oils, but this class is my favorite thing to teach because the business side of doTERRA changed my life the most. I'll tell you a little bit of my story so that you get to know me a little bit more. Before network marketing, I was working full time. And then I was adding 20 to 25 hours on top of that each week teaching English just to make ends meet. And I had two little girls at home at the time, a newborn and a 2-year-old, and I never, ever saw them, ever. I was burned out and frustrated, and I just couldn't see how we were going to ever get ahead with what we were doing at that time. So I was introduced at network marketing, and after wrestling with my own preconceived notions of pyramid schemes, right, and carrying loads of inventory, I dove in and I fell in love with the industry's ability to transform people's lives. So fast forward 9 years, 2 moves, both within China, 1 move internationally, some really rocky health situations, an open heart surgery for one of my daughters, an adoption, another daughter, we now have 4 girls. I have been able to retire my husband from his full-time work, and we're now living in Mexico together with our girls, and we're showing them firsthand that their lives can be different, right? Their lives can be filled with impact, and they can be in pursuit of creating a world that they absolutely love. And if we can do it, guys, we're not superhuman, right? Like you can do this too. And so that's why I'm here today to share more. And I believe that this presentation today will plant a seed of hope, a seed of excitement, and possibly even bring about some incredibly positive change for you if you decide to jump in. So we're going to start right away and begin to explore the opportunity of doTERRA together. Can you guys see my screen okay? That's okay? Okay, awesome. All right. So we're going to start with a couple of questions to thoughtfully identify where you stand currently and what you want out of this. So you can take a second, grab a piece of paper, grab your phone, right? Write down some of these answers. You can also jot them down in the chat box if you want. Number 1, what would be the best part of running your own business, right? What about this opportunity is exciting to you? Even if you've never run your own business before, what do you think the best part of owning your own business might be? Okay, so you can go ahead and write that down. Now, number 2, write down how you feel about network marketing. Is it positive for you? Is it a good feeling, right? Be honest here. Where are you right now with network marketing? Number 3, write down what intrigues you about the opportunity with doTERRA specifically, the opportunity to own a health and wellness startup business. What intrigues you about doTERRA? What do you feel like is drawing you to this opportunity? Finally, number 4, what would residual income mean for you and your family? And if you're unfamiliar with this term, no worries. Okay, we're going to be going through this in depth in this webinar. But when we're talking about residual income, it's money that you make even when you're sleeping or when you need to take some time off, right? There are many, many investment vehicles that earn residual income. You can think stock market, real estate investments. We're going to look at exactly how this works within doTERRA together today. And see why building a doTERRA business is a really great investment of your time and energy. Okay, I'm going to check the chat here. Time freedom. Yes, Manisha says time freedom. Owning your own business gives you the time freedom that we need. We're not getting up and going to an office every day. All right. What does financial freedom mean to you? Let's talk first about this. Oftentimes, many people live paycheck to paycheck, right? And the idea of this financial freedom, the dream of financial freedom, if you will, are not having to worry, to pinch pennies, or not overdraw an account. This is sometimes hard to imagine, and we were totally there. There just wasn't enough money at the end of the month, and it was really stressful. So if that's where you are, I hear you, and you are certainly not alone. And if you had asked me 9 years ago what financial freedom would mean for me, it probably would have been that I could spend whatever I wanted to at the grocery store, right, without budgeting every expense. Or maybe having that little extra for my college girls' fees, or maybe even having an extra to splurge on a date night, right? So think about this for yourself. What does financial freedom mean to you at this moment? Now, let's talk a little bit more about this financial freedom concept in the practical sense so that you can identify where you are right now. When we work a traditional job, we aren't technically financially free, right? And we definitely do not have time freedom. So you're always going to be trading dollars for hours. And this means that you're either paid hourly or you're salaried, or whatever your role is, you get compensated for that role. If you don't show up, you probably don't get paid, right? Sometimes if you work more, if you exchange more time, then you can make more money. You also have limits on your advancement in the company because there's only so many upper level tiers you can go to. Maybe eventually you could be upper level leadership, an executive maybe, but oftentimes the chances of owning the company that you're working in, unless you're a part of the family who owns the company, is probably slim to none. Yeah. To me, this is the quintessential pyramid scheme. There's only a couple of people at the top who really benefit from the work and the effort of those underneath. And the most unfortunate part is that these workers, they're never really going to get a chance to be at the top. So earning wise, most companies do have a ceiling, right? Generally speaking, we know the income earning potential of different job types, right? If you're a nurse, you make this much. If you're a teacher, you make this much. And we know what the ceiling is going to be, and we just accept that as a fact. Also, with a traditional job, you're really limited on your time freedom. You can't take off whenever you like, right? Take that extra last minute vacation or an extra day for a long weekend. You're really limited throughout the year on how much vacation time or sick time you can have. And also, if someone is time free, like those of us building a doTERRA business, and we are married to someone who is not time free, someone who's working a traditional job, right? Then you feel that limitation as well. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're building someone else's dream. And let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with that, right? However, it helps us in this context of this presentation to maybe stir up a little bit of discontentment with that status quo and look at our own lives and our own dreams. Do you have your own dreams, right? Do you want to build those dreams, or are you content building someone else's? It's a question that we all have to struggle with, wrestle with. Now, most of us would love to build our own dreams, right? And we're going to look deeper into possibilities to actually make that happen. So let's look over at the right at direct sales. Authentic direct sales can build true residual income. And I'll tell you a quick story to illustrate the power of this. 2 years ago, as some of you may know, one of my daughters had an open heart surgery in Shanghai. The timing was really unexpected, but I was able to drop everything and within a few days get an appointment up north. We were on that overnight train to Shanghai. Now, the craziest part was I really honestly had no idea how long we would be away. Doctors told us 4 weeks minimum, but some babes, they're admitted 6 to 8 months post-surgery if complications arise. So you can imagine it was very emotionally taxing. And timing-wise, everything was up in the air. But through it all, I never had to ask for leave for any boss, right? My position, my paycheck, they were never in jeopardy. In fact, my incredible team leaders filled in every gap. And I was just able to be fully present for all of my daughter's needs as she went through this really complex surgery. Now, in the end, everything went perfectly. We were there for those 4 weeks. And I imagine that maybe I put in 3 to 4 hours total into my doTERRA business that month. And guys, I still earned my doTERRA paycheck. In fact, that month, I earned more than I had earned the month before because my organization continued to grow in my absence. Now that is what we call residual income, right? Where you have the ability and you put the time and sweat equity into your own business. It doesn't happen overnight, right? Where you grow to a point where you can take that time off when needed and when necessary to give you that freedom. It's amazing. And it's something that we should all look for in an opportunity if financial freedom and time freedom rank high on your list of wants and needs. So in doTERRA, there are no limits on your advancement and your earnings. It sounds crazy, but it's true. You can outrank me, you can outrank your upline, your leaders, the highest ranking person in the company, if you do the work and you do everything that's required in the compensation plan. You can do it. No one is going to tell you that you can't. And there's not a level of leadership that you can go to, and then you can't go beyond that, right? You can just keep building and building and building. It's truly incredible. You can also get the freedom to choose your own schedule. And this means that you have more freedom to do other things that are a priority to you, right? All of us here, we have babes, right? Some older, some younger. Maybe this is family for you, caring for loved ones, volunteering, traveling, right? Pursuing other passions, really building your life around your work. Your life around your work rather than your work around your life. No, other way around. You know what I'm trying to say. You're building your own dream, right? Because you're investing in your own business, in your own startup. It will grow into a stable organization over time, rather than putting your time and your energy into investing into building someone else's business and fueling their dreams. Okay, that's the difference between traditional job and authentic direct sales. So why would you choose to partner with doTERRA first? Okay, if you're new to doTERRA, welcome, because this is an incredible organization to learn about. First of all, products. Our products are extremely effective. In fact, our oils are the most tested and most trusted essential oils on the planet. We have over 11 million customers worldwide. I think we might be up to 12 pretty soon. And our oils are used by doctors and hospitals worldwide. We also have a record-breaking retention rate of over 65%. Now, in the business world, this is critical. It means that over 65% of our customers come back and order more and more and more and continue to purchase because the products work, right? This is super unique within the network marketing industry itself, where sometimes people come into the organization with the pure intent to build a business. Maybe they aren't in love with the products themselves, or in worst case scenarios, they don't even use the products themselves. They just want something to sell. And if this happens, if they don't get the financial results that they were looking for from the business side of the company, they stop buying the product because they were never in it for the product in the first place. And what this does is it creates a very unstable organization for those who are trying to build an organization properly. So in fact, guys, the industry average, the entire network marketing industry, if a company is doing well, their retention rate is around 13%. So it shows you how incredible doTERRA is when it comes to keeping its customers. 65% versus 13. The products work. Okay. There's more reasons to partner with doTERRA. We're proven, guys. We're the largest essential oil company in the world with a growth rate similar to Apple. It took 7 years for Apple to become a billion-dollar company, and the same with doTERRA. Right? It's also an optimal time for an opportunity in the health and wellness industry. Okay, we all know what's been going on throughout the world over the last couple of years. There is a massive growth happening and a shift almost, an eagerness for people to be radical about their own health and wellness. And doTERRA has consistently grown month after month, even through these crazy times. How long does it take most companies to go global, right? Big multinational corporations, ages, right? But for you, you could go global in your first week. We're open in 120 different markets worldwide. And for those of you who think globally, right, think about all the people that you know around the world who could benefit from our products and from the entrepreneurial opportunity. You could connect with any of them and we could help them get started. It's super, super cool. We're a privately owned company and we're debt-free with no outside funding. Now, this is also really unique. This gives doTERRA 100% autonomy to run business on our own terms. It keeps our value immune from market fluctuations because we're not on the market, the stock market. And it means that we don't need to answer to the pressures of shareholders. doTERRA Corporate works for us, their marketing and sales arm. And they really, really do. You can feel it when you've been in the company and you understand how it works. And finally, last but not least, certainly another reason to partner with doTERRA is because the company itself is so caring. We create partnerships with growers around the world. And I've personally been to Kenya on what's called a co-impact sourcing trip with other doTERRA leaders from around the world. And I was able to work with our growers on the ground and see the impact that our partnership has in their lives. So I saw these incredible farming women take such pride in their work, right? They're paid on time and instantaneously for their crops. And then they can take that income, send their kids to school, right? Put food on the table, clothes on their backs. And this is just one snapshot of the good that doTERRA does around the world in our growing communities and beyond. Our oils are 100% natural. I know that you might think, oh, essential oils, they're all natural. No, most of the oils on the market are synthetic and they're created in labs with chemicals. But when you do it right, you have to preserve agricultural traditions. And we do that through co-impact sourcing. doTERRA did not invent the idea of using essential oils as natural medicine, right? They didn't invent it. There are people groups and cultures who have passed down these ancient sourcing and distilling methods generation upon generation. But these people have not always been honored in the way that they deserve to be honored or paid fairly for the incredible work that they've done. And that's where doTERRA comes in to support these communities, eliminate corrupt middlemen, and provide fair compensation to the farmers and distillers. And this ensures, guys, that we have these oils for generations and generations to come. And that matters to those of us who are building legacy businesses. They're going to be around for our kids and hopefully theirs as well. Now, the NGO arm of doTERRA is called the Healing Hands Foundation, and it focuses solely on giving back. Now, we do all sorts of humanitarian aid around the world, like disaster relief, fighting the horrific epidemic of sex trafficking, empowering the next generation, right, with education in safe school environments, and ensuring access to healthcare by building hospitals in the most remote areas of the world. All of this happens through Healing Hands. And what's super cool is wellness advocates like you and me, we can apply for products or even a financial match to donations for projects that are near and dear to our hearts as well. Now, one of the best things about doTERRA is that they do it right on both sides of the bottle. You know, we vote with our purchases, right? You vote with your money. Literally, every purchase with doTERRA changes growers' lives and communities. So as you grow your doTERRA business, other lives all around the world, people that you will never meet, right? Their lives are lifted. Now, we, of course, benefit from the power of the oils inside these sweet little bottles, right? And as we continue to share the power of essential oils and create demand for more, guess what? The growers, harvesters, distillers, right? Those on the other end benefit financially. So without them, we wouldn't have our oils. And without us, they wouldn't have anyone to buy their oils, right? And grow their income. So doTERRA doing it right on both sides of the bottle is a beautiful win-win. And if this is interesting to you, you can check out the entire process on sourcetoyou.com. A little bit of citrus bliss sounds really good right now. Okay, every company creates a company culture, right? If you've ever worked in a corporation, you know this. While other companies may focus on big checks, you know, walking across the stage or getting a free car in such and such rank, right? doTERRA's culture focuses on giving and caring. And if that resonates you, then welcome home, because you have found an excellent home in doTERRA. Now, let's talk about a couple of things that you might have questions on right now. You're like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, what do I do? We're going to get practical, and Silvia is going to help us do that. You might be thinking, how do I make money? How much time is involved, right? Could this work for me? And what's the next step? Silvia, go ahead and unmute, love, and pick up here. Share a bit of your story, if you will, and dive into each one of these topics with a little bit more detail.
Hello, thank you, Allie. So good. I I mean, I just love being a customer of this company, hearing you talk about it. I love the oils so much. Obviously, it's why I'm passionate about what I do. Um, so this process is actually quite simple. If you'll go to the next slide, Ali. Um, and anybody can really do it if they want to. And it makes it even more simple and easy and natural when you've had an incredible experience with an oil. So the way you make money is you start by listen to those around you. People like to talk about themselves and they like to talk about their problems and their issues. And everybody has a problem or an issue, right? Whether it be a physical need, an emotional need, maybe somebody in their family is struggling, or maybe it's even a financial need. We have solutions for all of those things. And what I like to do is I like to carry samples. I have a little sample pouch and I have it hooked onto my purse and yep, just like that, Allie. And actually right now my sample pouch is completely empty because I've actually given samples out. So I mean, I flew a couple months ago to Hawaii and there was a little boy on the plane just coughing so bad. And I had some breathe, or no, what did I have? I didn't have breathe because I had given that away. I had a little bit of peppermint and a little bit of On Guard. And I asked the mom if I could put some on her son and give some to her. And so I did. And the mom came back and was like, I need some of this. How do I get some? He was completely fine the next day. He was so much better. Thank you so much. You saved our vacation. So it's literally just like listening and kind of being aware of those moments where you are able to serve somebody. So carrying samples and sampling people in their specific needs and with intention. Maybe someone has a headache, some peppermint, some lavender, some past tense, whatever that is. And then teaching them how to use it, right? Like I showed that mama how to put the oils on her baby's feet, I actually pre-dilute them too, so that they're already safe to put on topically. And so just telling her that these are diluted, they're safe to put on the feet. You could even put it on your hand and have them smell it. So just teaching them how to use it. Another way is inviting them to like an essential oils made easy class or a 101 class. We have these classes running on our team. We have a team calendar and you can just find a class that works with your time zone. We have a global team. So there's classes happening all over the world that you can invite people to and plug them into. And this is a great opportunity to just teach someone and to invite somebody and say, hey, we're teaching, we have this class being taught. Why don't you come and learn more and just learn, right? And during that class, they'll learn how to use the oils, 3 cool things about essential oils, and then of course, how to get them into their home. And then you help them set up their own wholesale account so that they're not paying retail. They're getting it at the same price as me and Allie and other people on this call. Because if you don't have the oils in your home, they don't work. Right. So we need to have the oils in our home and we don't want to be caught in a pinch where we need them and we don't have them either. So we want to be prepared. And then I love the way doTERRA has set up this company and compensation plan and all of that is because it promotes this ongoing support of our customers. And so we really do want, when you go to the grocery store and you pick up an oil, you're not going to walk away from there with instructions on how to use it, right? So we want to provide continuing education and ongoing support. And again, we have those systems in place already. We have oil camps that run every month. We have continuing education classes that are running weekly, somewhere on the calendar, somebody on the team is doing them. So again, it's just an easy plug and play sort of system. So these are the ways you make money. You invite, you enroll, and you support. So before doTERRA, so if you don't know me, I am a retired ICU nurse. I left bedside about a year and a half ago. And before doTERRA, I was working about 24, sometimes 50 hours a week, sometimes 60, because overtime was real good working in the hospital. But, if we wanted to go on that extra vacation, or if I wanted to splurge on something, I would just pick up an extra shift or stay over and do a double or whatever. And I did this with 3 babies at home. When I started using doTERRA oils, my youngest was about 5 or 6 months. And so there were days where I was working 12-hour shifts, 3 shifts in a row, and I wouldn't see my kids for those 3 days because I would leave home before they woke up, and I'd come home and it would be like 8:30 sometimes, and my kids would be asleep by then. And so I would go these stretches without seeing my babies, and I hated it. I loved the work I was doing, most of it, I should say. But I hated the time it took away from my family. I was working every other weekend, because that's just what you do in the hospital. I was working, I had to pick up a holiday in the summer and a holiday in the winter. So I was missing Thanksgiving or Christmas some years. And it's just not the life I wanted for my family. I wanted to be able to go to church on Sundays, and I wanted to be able to, volunteer in my kids' classrooms and be there on their birthdays to drop off cupcakes and balloons, right? And just have those little special moments with them. And I couldn't do that, because I had a boss and I had to ask for days off. And I had to actually ask for my days off in January for the days I wanted off like 10 months later. And like a lot of us don't know our vacations 10 months from now, right? And my husband, he works for himself. So he has that flexibility of just like picking up and being like, hey, let's go here. And there were times where like, I can't, I have to work. I have to work. So that was kind of a pain point in my career. And I was introduced to doTERRA. I was dealing with some health issues in my home, and the oils met that need. And I was mind blown. And I literally couldn't stop talking about it. My kids were dealing with ear infections, and we were using antibiotics with every ear infection. And I was able to get them off of some of the other pharmaceuticals that were keeping them from getting these infections just with the use of oils. And so I was like, why didn't I know about this? And how does everybody else not know about this? And why isn't everybody talking about this? Because this is amazing. And so I just started telling my close friends and my family about what I had found and how I was using it and how it was working. And again, sampling, telling them, teaching them how to use it, providing the resources. And then one day I got this check from doTERRA, and I was like, that's interesting. And of course I had some, yeah, Allie, world's best kept secret, right? Not anymore. And so I got this check and I cashed the check, and it actually cashed. And I was like, oh, okay, like there's actually like an opportunity here. And so I started looking into this financial opportunity with doTERRA. And so I always say I accidentally started doing this business, and I kind of did initially. But as soon as I realized that there was an opportunity, I very intentionally, I learned the business quickly. I learned the business model, and I went to work, and I intentionally built a business with doTERRA and partnered with them. And I'm so passionate about it. So now I work from home. I get to take my kids to school. I get to pick them up. I get to go to all of their functions, and I schedule my doTERRA in the pockets of my day where I'm able to, without interfering with my first love and job is being a mom, right? And and I love partnering with other women who have the same goals, who want to build a sustainable business, a stable business, and partner with doTERRA and partner with me to do that. And, it's fun to share similar goals with people and kind of run together and do that together. So how much time is involved? This really depends on how much time you want or how much time you have. So just kind of looking at this before I go into it, kind of jot down where you are at, how much time, how much extra time do you have in your week or in your day? And maybe that's a lot of extra time, and maybe that's a little bit. And I always tell people that, like, busy moms with kids, juggling lots of different things, those are the most productive women in the world. I look back before I had children and I think, man, what did I do with I don't even know. Like I could have done so much and I could have had gotten so much done, right? But you don't know until you're forced to really calendar your day and put it all in one place and kind of see where your time is being spent. That if you have about 3 to 5 hours a week, you can probably get your products paid for. And this could be, again, just in the pockets of your day, maybe at lunchtime at work, you're scheduling a call with a friend that has a need, or maybe after work, or maybe it's a weekend. Maybe you just Saturdays and Sundays are the time you have to put into your business. And 3 to 5 hours a week will get your products paid for. If you got 10 to 15 hours a week, now you're looking at supplementing your income. And again, this can be done on the weekends or after work. And then if you're looking to replace your income and leave your job, I haven't seen anybody be successful with doing that without putting at least 15 to 30 hours a week, and sometimes more depending on what your goals are. So like I said, when I looked at the compensation plan, I had a big goal. I wanted to leave the bedside as soon as possible. And I sat down with my husband and kind of looked at it. And I said, if I get here, I could leave bedside. And so I did that. And I did that very quickly. But that's not everyone's story. And that's not how everyone's life is, right? But it's possible. You go, yeah. Now, some of you are thinking, could this work for me? Is it something that could work for me? Are you passionate about oils? Do you love oils already? Then it could totally work for you. Maybe you're here and you're new to oils and you haven't really fallen in love with oils, but you're thinking but you're already holistically mindset. Maybe you're already working in the health and wellness field. Maybe you're a health coach or a practitioner of some kind. A masseuse, yoga instructors, and you could see yourself falling in love with oils and incorporating that into the business that you already have. This might be the perfect opportunity for you. Do you care about people? Do you find that your heart aches when you hear them talk about their pain points and you want to help them and you want to serve them in that way? Then this is for you. If you don't like people and you don't want to help people, then this is not going to work for you. Okay. You really do have to sincerely care about people. And then are you able to follow a simple system and do the things that you say you're going to do? Right. So we have people come and say, oh yeah, I want to do this, but then they don't commit to the things that they want to do. And that's important. Are you able to commit to your commitments? We have an incredible I mentioned we have a plug and play system for customers. We have an incredible plug and play system for people that want to do the business as well. And it's a system that works. And if you can follow it, you can be very successful. So Allie, why don't you talk a little bit about why this is the right time now, right now, to start your business?
Brilliant. I will. Thanks for sharing your story. I think it's really valuable to hear how different people come into the business and really make something of it. And if we could, unmute and have Jennifer or Minusha share, everyone's story is so unique and so inspirational in its own right. So thank you for sharing that. All right. So I promised I would dive into more about what residual income is and how doTERRA can serve us in our financial goals in this way. So here, we have Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. Say that 10 times fast. And Robert Kiyosaki is the author who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't picked up that book, it's a fabulous book. He also wrote Network Marketing as the Business of the 21st Century, also a fabulous book. So let's go through this so we can understand. We're going to start in the upper left-hand corner in the employee quadrant. Now, an employee is someone who has a job. Right? As an employee, your time equals the money that you earn. And you're earning 100% of one person's efforts, right? That's you. You go to work, you make your money. As an employee, you don't have any time leverage, like we talked about before. From there, we're going to move down to the self-employed quadrant. When you're self-employed, you basically own a job. Yeah, you're likely paid more for your time because you're earning all the profits yourself instead of needing to give some to your employer, but you still have no time leverage. Think about a doctor as an example with an independent practice, right? They own the practice, but unless they themselves are at work seeing those patients, they aren't earning any income. When they do work, they're earning all of the profits instead of giving some to a hospital or a clinic, but it's still trading time for money and starting at zero each and every day. And this would be your yoga teacher, your masseuse, any of those jobs where you're working for yourself as a one man, one woman entity, you own a job. Now, in the upper right-hand side is the business owner quadrant. Now, this is where things start to get a little interesting, right? As a business owner, you have people working for you, and your income equates to a smaller percentage of more people's work. You likely own a system and the people work for you. Now, the more your business grows, the more your business grows, the more people you need to work for you, right? And you begin to have leverage with your time. You aren't necessarily at the helm 24/7, right? And you start to experience more financial freedom and more time freedom with less work than on the left-hand side of the cash flow quadrant. And finally, the investor column. This is where your money begins working for you. Now, as a business owner, once your income takes care of those daily necessities, then you have money left over to be able to invest. And this is where your money begins to make money and you tap into more passive income streams, right? Now, a couple of things. Make a note of where you are right now, right? And then where you want to be. When I first started, I was an employee, right? And it was paying the bills, which was awesome. Then I ventured out into freelancing and I owned a job. And I actually was quite disillusioned. I thought, man, if I could just get rid of my boss, I will love the work that I do. But then I hated my boss and my boss was me. It was just me, right? You have no time leverage, no freedom. I owned the job. I really had no idea that the right side of the cash flow quadrant was even possible for me, but it sure was. And I promise you that with doTERRA, it's possible for each one of you too. Now, second, I want to show you how doTERRA fits into the cash flow quadrant. When you start out, you're investing a lot of time into learning the skills and launching your business. It feels a little bit like you're owning a job, right? It's you and your customers, right? You and your customers. But then your team grows, right? You bring on some partners and you teach them what you know. And sure enough, you find yourself a business owner, right? And this, for those of us who work internationally, most of my team is in China. So literally as I sleep, my business is still moving, right? And yours will too. And then once you have extra, and your doTERRA income is meeting your needs and you're investing back in your business, guess what? You can use your extra income to invest and have your money work for you. Yeah, sounds pretty good, right? It is pretty awesome. Now, why is this concept so important to talk about and grapple with? Because the truth is, most people on this earth simply do not have enough money earned and saved to take care of them through the end of their life. In our current system, you have to have so much money tucked away, in a lot of times in a volatile market, right? That it seems just an impossible feat to retire in a comfortable way that takes care of your needs. Let's look at some of these stats together. On average, people need $54,000 a year in retirement, which requires a nest egg of over $1 million in earning 5% a year to get back this $54,000, right? So if you work for 40 years, you would have had to save $27,000 a year from the start in order to make this happen. Okay, have you done that? 3/4 of people age 50 are one emergency away from bankruptcy with a savings of less than $5,000 in their bank account. Right? And 95% of retired people depend on outside funding. Now, this is an issue that we can remedy by diversifying how we spend our time and look wisely at what opportunities give us the most back in return. So we're going to go back to the direct sales model. Why would you choose to invest your time in direct sales in order to diversify your income? First is the built-in business model. This allows us to focus on what we're good at. What we need to get good at in doTERRA is teaching, training, caring about people, and really investing into people's lives. doTERRA does everything else. They source the products, they ship the products, they do all the science, they do all the research, right? They have our backs and we're out there doing what we're good at. Secondly, education. We have everything already done and ready for you to plug into on both the product side and the business side, just like Silvia was talking to you about. You just need to be able to plug in and follow the system to be successful. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. And finally, super low startup costs. Guys, to buy a franchise, it costs a minimum of $250,000, right? With doTERRA, your monthly overhead is like $150 a month. And these are products that you're buying and using and replacing other expenses within your own home. And for most of us, it becomes our primary health and wellness care, right? Now, Silvia, now that we know a little bit more about what residual income is and why the direct sales model is so powerful, can you tell us a little bit more about the earning potential with doTERRA and share actually how we make money?
The good stuff, right?
The good stuff. Get practical.
So the compensation plan can be a little bit overwhelming at first, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed. What I do want you to take away from this is just that there is an earning potential. Okay. I'm going to give some details. I'm not going to completely go over it. But again, what I really want you to understand is that there is this incredible income potential with doTERRA. So you'll hear me say PVs. PVs is doTERRA currency. doTERRA is a global company. And so instead of saying $1, I will say 1 PV, or instead of saying $3,000, it will be 3,000 PVs. In the US, the PVs are pretty close to dollars. In other markets, there is a variation and a fluctuation, but there needs to be a doTERRA, a global currency, to be able to pay out all of the distributors fairly and evenly, right? So elite is kind of like the first little rank that you can hit in doTERRA, and it is an overall volume. OV is another term you might hear, and OV means overall volume or organizational volume. So it's an organizational volume of 3,000 PVs. And you can hit elite with an average of about 15 people enrolled in your organization. And if you host 1 to 2 classes and really invite well, sample well, and have a really good turnout, you can actually hit elite within 1 to 2 classes. And this will more than pay for your products. It's an average earnings of about $300 a month. And the average person, it takes about 3 months to get to elite. Now, once you've hit elite, you will see that elite is kind of like the building block of all other ranks in doTERRA. So we love elite. I love supporting elite organizations within my organization because it's a building block of all other organizations. So when you've hit elite, and then so you know how to hit elite, you can help 3 other people hit elite in your organization, structured properly. And you will then become the rank of silver. Silver is a fun rank. Silver is the first leadership rank in doTERRA. Now, the average amount of time it takes to get to silver is about 18 months. Now, again, you can go fast and you can go slow. I mentioned that I went really fast, right? I had a goal. I was intentional. I hit the rank of silver in about 7 months, I want to say. I actually hit silver and then hit gold the next month after that. And so now you're supplementing an income, right? You're looking at about $2,000 a month. And this, I want to be completely transparent with you guys. The first time you hit a rank, it will not be the amount that you're seeing. This isn't a company average. And there are silvers in the organization that have been silvers for years and have massive organizations, but they're structured out to just silver. And so they're earning a little bit more, right? So I would say the first time you hit silver, you're looking more about $1,000 a month. Now, when you know how to hit silver and you're able to teach 3 other people to hit silver, that's 9 elites. Again, that elite is the foundation, right? You are a platinum. Platinum is life-changing, you guys. Platinum is when people can come home from work and retire their husbands like Ali did, move to Mexico and support the family, right? So now I want you guys to remember what Ali said, that the average break even for a brick and mortar business is about 36 months, right? It takes the average person about 37 months to reach the rank of platinum. So about 3 years of intentionally building a business. And then this is a residual income that you're earning at this point. So you don't have all of the investment and overhead that you do with that brick and mortar. You're instantly earning that, and it's take home, right? So keep that in mind. Now, I want you to look at this, and I think Ali touched on this a little bit. When you first start out, it feels like you're putting a lot of time in. You're putting a lot of time, and it doesn't feel like you're really being paid for all of that time initially. But you'll notice as you start growing in the ranks, you will start to get paid more for, I guess you're not putting in less time, but you're getting paid a lot more for the time that you are putting in. So startup mentality is you're underpaid for a while, then you're fairly paid for a while, and then you get up to the ranks of like diamond and presidential diamond, and where the average incomes are 20 to 120,000 a year, and you're going to be overpaid for your time for a long amount of time. So this is what a stable organization will bring you in the long run. This is not a get rich quick sort of situation. So keep that in mind. If you ever, if people are telling you, come join my team, come join my organization, you're going to get rich really quick. That's not the way that doTERRA is set up. Because we want to build long-term stable organizations that are going to pay us more over time, right? Now, another way to get paid, one of the ways to get paid is fast start bonus. I love this. This is designed to kind of put money into your pocket right away. So the way that works is you enroll Amy and you will earn 20% off of Amy's order for the first 60 days of her enrollment. So she could order 15 orders during those days and you still earn 20% off of each order that she places. Now, say Amy is like, her brother Joe, he needs the oils, and she enrolls her brother Joe and he orders a kit. Now, Amy will get 20% from Joe's order and you will get 10% from Joe's order. So this is kind of your first taste of residual income here, right? So maybe you wake up and Joe's enrolled and you didn't do anything. And so you just now passively made money in your sleep. So this is, I love this. Now, say Joe has a friend, Sue, and he helps her get started and places an order. Now, Joe gets 20% from Sue's order. Amy gets 10%, and you now get 5%. And again, it's during their first 60 days. And this is based on the PV amount. So it's not based on the dollar amount that they spend. It's going to be based on the PV amount that they spend. And these are paid weekly. So every Wednesday, I see a direct deposit into my bank account of my fast starts for the week. Now, the next way to earn a bonus is the power of 3 bonus. And this is a structural bonus and it is paid monthly. And the way that works is let's say you are on top, the purple guy, and you have 3 people that are enrolled with a doTERRA wholesale account underneath you. And each of those people are on the loyalty rewards program and they order 100 PVs or more. And then your overall organizational volume is 600 PVs total. So you and those 3 people and anyone else on your front line will count in that volume is 600 PVs. That is $50 that is sitting on the table for you to take home. Okay. Now, if those 3 people duplicate and repeat that same thing. So the blue guy, let's say Joe gets 3 people placing 100 PVs, Sue gets 3 people placing 100 PVs, and Mary gets 3 people placing at least 100 PVs through their loyalty rewards program. And each of their organizational volumes equals 600 or more. That is $250 that is sitting on the table. And then if that process duplicates again, that is a $1,500 bonus. That is so much money. I mean, how much is that a year? 15,000, 14,000, 16? I always forget. 18,000. There it is. Close. 18,000 a year. This is huge. That's a lot, right? So it's 1,500 a year, 1,500 a month sitting on the table every month. Now, you're not going to hit your 1,500 bonus in your first month, maybe not even your second month. It takes a little bit of time. You've got to build your organization. Again, this is a long-term business, right? So again, this bonus is paid monthly, and we will teach you how to structure your organization. So don't let this overwhelm you. Don't overthink it. Don't worry about it. We have videos and programs in place to help teach you structure and how to make the most out of the compensation plan so that you can get the most out of it. Now, the primary way to earn income is called Unilevel. And I love the way doTERRA did this. So on the left, you will see this is doTERRA Unilevel. On the right of your screen, this is a typical Unilevel of other multi-level marketing or direct sales companies and how they structure theirs. So you will see doTERRA's. Now this is a depiction. The dollars are with the perfect power of 3 structure, basically. So you will see that anybody you enroll that's on your first level, you will get 2% from. Third level or second level is 3%. Third level is 5%. Fourth is 5th, so on and so forth, down to the 7th level. One thing I want you to notice is that in the traditional, typical Unilevel plan is that is flipped. The higher you have somebody in your organization, the more you get paid on them. Now, this to me doesn't make sense, because as I build an organization, it's going to be bottom heavy, right? As I enroll people and they enroll people and I enroll more people and I support the organizations I have below, we're going to have more people on that 7th level. And so the opportunity to earn income is larger on that bottom, on those lower levels, right? Not only does this pay you more, but it also helps support the organizations underneath you. So if I have Sue and she's building an organization underneath me, I'm incentivized to help build her organization and place my enrollments underneath her, as opposed to keeping them up top next to me where I can earn my 7% on them, right? So I love that the way this is done. And again, you can see how rewarding this can be with the doTERRA's retention rate. They have a 65% retention rate, and it really shines here, and it's true residual income. Okay. Here's another reason why I really love doTERRA is there's no competition. And just like I mentioned, like I'm incentivized to help build the organizations in my organization. I'm also incentivized to help and work with cross lines like Allie. Like Allie and I are not in each other's organizations. Our organizations do not overlap. We have completely separate businesses. And it is in my best interest and her best interest to ensure that both of us do really well. doTERRA has created these leadership performance pools. And as soon as you hit the rank of Premier, which is a rank right in between Silver and gold, elite and silver, you start to share in these leadership rank or these leadership pools. And they're just extra bonuses that doTERRA is like, hey, you hit this rank and we'll give you a little bit of extra. And it's shared amongst those ranks within the company. And you'll see as the ranks get bigger, the pools get bigger because there's less people in them, right? And so, and then you're also sharing a larger percent. So I love this. I call it cross-line love. And I love the idea of like a rising tide moves all ships. And so as an organization, if we are growing, all of us are growing. I'm growing, Ali's growing, Manisha's growing, right? Like we're all rising together and helping together. And we're incentivized to do that from corporate, which is huge. This is not normal for your typical network marketing organization. They designed it this way. They have our best interest at heart. And I love it. I love being able to work with people like Ali and Manisha and other people that are not within my organization. So Ali, you shared a little bit about your move to Mexico. And in regards to financial independence, can you share a little bit more about that?
If I unmute myself first. Absolutely. Thank you. I love how doTERRA has set up the compensation plan, and I love hearing it over and over and over and over again, because they really do have meetings where they say, how do we get more money in our distributors' pockets? Like they really do. It's incredible. All right. If I can take, yeah. Okay. So financial independence. I love this topic, and this is just an extra. Okay. For those of you who are interested in learning a rather countercultural way to earn, save, and give. So this question of, have you ever heard of FI or FI? That was a question I was asked about 3 years ago now. And it's a question that radically changed our life. Now, FI stands for financial independence. And the movement behind this is called FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And you can see the tenets of FI here on the screen. This is not about getting rich and living above your means, right? In fact, people who follow the FI lifestyle often have savings goals between 50 and 70% of their annual incomes, so that they can live the life that they want and design. So think about this. If you save 50% of your living expenses in 1 year, right? That just bought you an entire year of not working, didn't it? You bet it did. And so if this piques your interest, if you're looking for some financial information or a different way to do things, I really recommend the Choose FI podcast. They're fabulous. And the lifestyle really changed the way that I looked at my doTERRA business. It's not a vehicle for us to just gain a ridiculous amount of wealth and keep adjusting our lifestyle, right, to meet our income. Instead, doTERRA for our family has become a way to earn, save, and give exponentially beyond what I ever thought was possible. And it's this thinking and education that allowed my husband to retire at 38 and for us to move to Mexico. And it's all supported by my doTERRA income. So if this is interesting to you, have a look at the guys over at Choose FI to learn more. All right. We're going to look a little bit more at now that Silvia has talked about a couple of the different bonuses and the way that we earn. We're going to look at that in terms of retirement needs. Okay. Silvia and I are both super futuristic. We're like long-term planners looking ahead. I want to marry this together so that we understand what we've been learning about today. Remember that structure bonus, the power of 3 bonus, where there's $50, $250, and $1,500. Let's look at what it would take if you chose to invest your time in a doTERRA business versus a traditional investment vehicle. Okay, so level 1, $600 a year. The average time it takes to earn this bonus in doTERRA is 3 months. And you would need to have $12,000 invested in the stock market, let's say, earning 5% a year in order to earn just $600 back a year in retirement, or in whenever you decide to retire. Maybe you're retiring early. Level 2, $250, that's $3,000 a year. The average time it takes with doTERRA is 6 months to earn this bonus. You could work for 6 months and then have this $250 coming in every month. Or you can stockpile 60K in the stock market, earning 5% back just to get that 3,000 back per year. What about 1,500? 1,500 is $18,000 a year. And you would need to have, it's so funny, that one thing I couldn't see my screen. You would need to have $360,000 invested in traditional investment vehicles, earning back 5,000. So, do you want to work for your power of three, 1,500, or do you want to earn $360,000 and put that aside, right? It doesn't seem like a lot of money, but man, it adds up. And in the long term, this is really a strategy that we want everyone to consider because it's so powerful for each and every one of us. Now, Unilevel, let's look at a couple bonuses here. Silver, on average, $2,200 of income a month, 26,000 plus a year. Average time, 1 year. I did it in 5 months, right? Some people do it in 1 month. Some people take 5 years. It doesn't matter. You need to have over $500,000 invested just to earn back $26,000 a year. So do you want to reach for silver or do you want to invest the $500,000? Gold, 45K a year, 30 months, it's called 2.5 years to reach gold. You need almost $1 million in traditional investment vehicles, earning back 5% a year. Does this make sense? Right? So we're talking about time. Silvia joked about, oh, what did I do before I had my kids, right? All that time wasted. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with it? And what are you choosing to do with it? And if you find that you can find joy in this work, it is an incredible way to spend your time, both because it's personally fulfilling and financially fulfilling in the long term. Now let's look at a 10-year plan. And we have the tale of two plans, if you will. Current 10-year plan is someone who is making $51,939 a year, right? And they have a steady bonus or steady raise every year of $1,500, $2,000 a year, okay? doTERRA. We're going to look at someone who's just starting out with doTERRA, and they're going very reasonably, at a reasonable speed of 1 rank a year, just 1 rank. So remember Silvia said that we're underpaid for a while, right? Then we're fairly paid, then we're overpaid. Let's look at this in numbers. The executive putting in some time, $1,200 a year, certainly isn't reaching that 51,000, but sometimes people keep their current job and build a doTERRA business in the pockets of their life until they find a balance where they can come over to doTERRA full-time. That's what I did. That's what Silvia did, right? So second year elite, oh man, you really don't break even until year 5. Gold, $59,000 a year. But then look what happens. While the employee goes from 58 to 60, gold to platinum doubles our income, 59 to 115. Then we almost double it again. Then we more than double it. Then we almost triple it, right? And then beyond, because there's no cap. Now, what's super interesting is my mom is visiting from the US and she had worked in a career for 30 years. And so you can imagine she was expensive for her company, right? They could bring in a newbie and hire them at pennies for what they were paying my mom. And she was, forced retired. doTERRA is never going to force retire you. They want your skills. They want what you bring to the organization. And it really is an incredible opportunity. When you look at these numbers, how are you going to spend the next 5 years, right? What do you want out of, if you look at your life 10 years, I just said to a friend yesterday, he's got 6 more years till his kids are out of school, out of the house. And I thought, oh my gosh, 6 years, that's like that. It's like that, 6 years. So how are you going to be spending your time over the next couple of years? And what could you make happen that would send this ripple effect, of course, for you and your financial world, but also for all the people that you will touch along the way when you choose to say yes. Okay. Now there's an incredibly special opportunity right now that's going on. Silvia, you want to introduce Founder 2.0?
Yeah. So this is kind of a rare and incredible, like Ali said, opportunity. And it's a Founders 2.0 position. So when a market is first kind of launched in a country, what you have are founders positions, and these founders earn a share of the entire market. And what doTERRA has done is they're launching a Founders 2.0 version for the US market. So if you are not in the US market, I apologize, this is US only. But there may be founders positions open within the market that you're in. So just reach out to whoever invited you here and ask them about it. So this is for US only. And what the original US founders have done is they've given up a piece of their pie, so to speak, so that some newcomers might enjoy some. It's designed to inspire a generation of leadership to rise up and to grow the US market. So doTERRA has become a billion-dollar company. And what they have said is the next $1 billion. So from 1 billion to 2 billion of doTERRA's earning, there will be a percentage, basically a 2% pool of that shared amongst 200 Founders 2.0 positions. So as of right now, there are 178 spots left. This was launched in, I think, May of 2020. And so if this is something that is piquing your interest, this is a position that is a race, basically. And so you will have to be building your business fast because other people are building their business quickly in order to secure these spots. And it gives you equity in the company for the rest of your life. And I love the way they've designed it because it is an equal opportunity, and it's actually a golden opportunity for the newcomer. And I look back, and it's designed in a point system. And I look back at when I first started with doTERRA and the way I built my business those first several months. I would have earned the amount of points possible to secure a founder's position right now. So I know it is possible, and I'm actually going for it myself. And I'd love to run alongside anyone else that's going for it. I would love to have founders on my team as well. And again, the newcomers actually have a more golden opportunity than some of us old timers. So that is Founders 2.0. And then, awesome. And then, so you got all this information, right? Like beautiful, what is this webinar of making this business easy. Like what do you do next? Well, if you don't have a doTERRA wholesale account, you'll want to do that stat nurses orders. So contact the person that invited you to this class or you've been working with in doTERRA and have them help you figure out what's the best kit for you to get started with. And then what you're going to want to do is set up a 100 PV LRP order because that is how you get paid. And again, whoever invited you here, whoever's actively doing a business will know how to help you do this. And they'll help plug you into the existing team resources. And then you will have access to all of our trainings. And then start thinking about the people in your life that have a health need and maybe even a financial need. And what I do is I just keep a list of that right in the notes of my phone so that I have it handy. And start making that list so that you can start thinking about how you can serve your community. And then reach out, leave here, reach out to the person that invited you here. That's really the next step, is just reaching out to that person and they will help walk you through the next step. And that's the beautiful thing about this team and this company, is that you'll never be left hanging and you'll never be alone. So thank you guys for joining us this morning. And I think we're going to open it up for some questions.
Yeah, let's do it. Anyone have any questions? Comments?
I have a comment. Thank you so much, ladies. Every time I step into one of these sessions, I just get more inspired to go help more people. Like, I'm like on my phone. I'm going to make my list on my phone. That's such a great idea, Sylvia. Because I'm always thinking of people. So yeah, thank you so much for this morning. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome, ladies. Dawn, good to see you. Semi, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You're very welcome. Reach out to the person who invited you. Jennifer, great to see your face.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, great inspiration. So kudos to both of you. Thank you.
Oh, I am pronouncing it right. You're so welcome, Jennifer. Okay, great. It's good to see you as always. All right, if there's no questions, I think we can wrap it up. Nothing else? I think we either super overwhelmed them or we covered everything, Silvia.
I think we did just a really good job.
All right, friends.
It was great seeing you ladies.
Yes.
And if you're watching the recording, it's great.
Great. Super glad that you're watching the recording. Reach out, guys. Reach out. Like, this is what we do for a living. We help people, right? This is what we do. So never, ever hesitate to reach out. I guarantee you, your leader will be thrilled to hear from you. Thrilled.
Yep. I love getting text messages.
Me too. All right, friends. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and let's go out and change the world.
Yay.
Thank you, ladies. Bye.
You're so welcome. Take care.
Bye.